Thank you, everybody. If I can have your attention. At this time, I'd like to have you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you for your patience while we were getting the room filled up. I'm not sure where we're at in the capacity level, but I do have an in with the fire marshal. So what he doesn't know won't hurt him. My name is Steve Coering. I'm the fire chief here in St. Louis Park. Throughout the program tonight, you'll meet the rest of my command staff, and they can introduce themselves as they come up. But I wanted to welcome you here to tonight's ceremony. I think this is going to be a very cool thing. It's certainly cool for your family members and friends. We're going to be adding 10 new paid on-call firefighters to our organization, which is a significant addition to any organization to add 10 new brains, 10 new hearts that have a lot of passion to do things, and we're excited about that in St. Louis Park. I want to thank you as family for being here to support them in this endeavor, because it's going to take a lot of your support to help them through to get to the other end of this project. And for our firefighters who are here in the room and who are outside in the hallway, I appreciate the fact that you've taken time to be here tonight, because your mentoring and your support will be significant in how well they adapt to this St. Louis Park Fire Department. And I'm excited about the prospects of that. Our fire service is filled with a ton of traditions, and St. Louis Park is certainly no different. In fact, in September of this year, we'll be celebrating our 100th year. So this is a really great time to be joining the fire department for St. Louis Park. You are joining us in our anniversary year, of which we will celebrate 100 years, and there'll be plenty of work for each of you to do, I guarantee it. At this time, I'd like to have Deputy Chief Wolff come forward with a few comments.
Thank you, Chief. My name is John Wolff. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations here. And it's been a journey for these 10 people. I wanted to just share with you what they've gone through to get to this place here tonight. We started a recruiting effort, and really it was the first time ever that we really tried a very much a forthright effort. Postcards, many of you are city residents, you probably saw our postcards, our posters. We were in the newsletter, in the newspaper, social media, and all these different kinds of venues. We were overwhelmed by the response. We had almost 100 people contact us about this opportunity, and 75 applied, and 68 sat for a test on April 3rd or April 4th. Either day they could pick. And from there, we chose the top 32 scores. These 10 folks were among that group. And from there, they went through a physical agility test, and then another round of interviews. They had their first round of interviews, then their physical agility test, and they may have commented about their first interview, which they did with 10 other candidates. And so they were each asked a series of questions. Every person had to answer the same question, and it was interesting to see how they kind of competed and vied in the room together. We do that because firefighting is all about teamwork. And we look for people that have kind of the teamwork principles sort of built into them. And we found that in this group and actually some of the other candidates too. So they went from the group interview to the physical agility test, which many of you I'm sure will tell you was not easy. These folks all passed flying colors, and then they did their one-on-one interview with the interview panel, and finally an interview with the chief. And then we give them a conditional offer, which is about middle of May, and then they get a background check, a health examination, and a psychiatric analysis. And I think the folks that do the psychiatric analysis said, wow, 10 people, they're all so, what was the word? Extraordinary. So with that, class of 2015 starting off on a good foot. Before I transition back to the chief, I want to talk a little bit about, we've restructured our organization, and our people are really our most important asset. We have fire trucks, we have facilities, We have all kinds of equipment that we issue and that we use to do the job that we do. But our most important asset are the people that work for us. And we have 24 career staff, and with this group we'll have 29 part-timers. And the demands of the work that we do has increased significantly. Our calls are up almost 25% in the last 6 years. Our fire prevention programs and our public education programs are all up. The demands are up. So we need help. We need part-time staff and we need full-time staff to really supplement the work that we need to do. And this group of 10 really kind of launches us on our journey for the next level of service delivery that we hope that we can accomplish. In order to be successful though, onboarding 10 people, we haven't tried this for really many years. It's almost 15, 20 years ago since we've had a group of this size. We made the decision to assign a team leader. So one of our current firefighters, one of our current part-time paid on-call firefighters. And so we put out a job rec for that opportunity. We had 6 people apply internally. It was very, very competitive. But I'm pleased to tell you that, and Kris, would you please step forward? Kris Helberg was appointed our team leader for the class of 2015. Kris is a 5-year member of the department. She's a St. Louis Park resident. 21 years in private sector, sales, marketing, and management. Part of this job in the future will also encompass helping us with the recruiting and the hiring efforts, and she has a lot of experience in that area and a lot of experience managing people. So the group of 10 will get to know Kris very well, and congratulations, Kris.
All right, very good. So at this point, we asked each of the new candidates to write a bio. Some of you have a lot of things to say. We were able to paraphrase them down to keep this just short of a couple hours. But we're going to start off the very first. And what I'd like each candidate to do, if you haven't been briefed, is to come to the front and then just stage in line in order as you're read off. And I'll read your bio. Jim Oelhafen. Jim was born in Milwaukee and raised in Appleton, Wisconsin. You need not worry, however, as Jim is not a sports fan. He has lived in Minnesota since '99 and has been a resident of St. Louis Park since 2002. He attended college in Minnesota, receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in Management and Organizational Leadership from St. John's in Collegeville. Jim's first job after college was working at the Wilder Foundation, St. Croix Boys Camp in Sandstone, where he counseled juvenile delinquents. There's some value there. And supervised a team of 22 counselors and led extended canoeing, hiking, and snowshoeing expeditions. Jim has worked as a service sales rep at Low Voltage Contracting since 2001. He helps the clients improve their fire and life safety system inspections, testing, and maintenance, and ultimately creates a safer place to live, work, and play. Jim has 2 children, a dog, and several fish. His daughter Annika is 20 and a junior at University of Minnesota. His son Bowden is 14 and a freshman at St. Louis Park High. He enjoys cooking, photography, and outdoor activities. And Jim has been involved in emergency services since his senior year in high school when he received his EMT. He's excited to return back to active duty and looks forward to serving the community of St. Louis Park. Where after serving into the community in Park, Jim was hired as a paid-on-call firefighter, where he served this department from 2005 until 2010. So welcome back, Jim. Thank you. Next up is Jen Eichten, was born in the Republic of Korea. She moved to Hibbing, Minnesota, where she met her forever family when she was almost 4. Growing up, her father operated cranes and her mother worked in sales. They instilled the Iron Ranger work ethic in Jen at an early age. When she was 8, her family left Minnesota for California. She cried all the way to Nebraska because she didn't want to leave. During her formative years, she still visited Minnesota every summer and returned to live in Minnesota, where she completed her undergrad at the University of St. Kate's and law school at William Mitchell. Yes, Jen says she's crazy for leaving sunny Southern California for Minnesota tundra, but she still passed our psyche eval somehow. Jen is currently a part-time child protection attorney for kids in foster care, part-time captain in the Minnesota Army National Guard, as a judge advocate, and an overtime mother of three remarkable children. Her son Toby is 8 and now thinks his mom's the coolest job of being a firefighter. Her twin daughters are 5. Lou likes her mom's blue uniform, and CJ calls her mom a fireman. Jen just laughs because Jen's mom also calls her a fireman. Jen is a firefighter because she respects the physical challenges as well as the science behind fighting fire and rescuing people from different situations. And she says she's a firefighter geek. Even though Jen works hard, she plays even harder and enjoys reading, traveling, going to her favorite boot camp class with her instructor, Rebecca. Rebecca is the main reason Jen says she was strong enough to pass the physical agility test to get on the department. Thanks, Rebecca. Jen. Bryan Hamilton grew up in Shoreview. His father works for Ernst & Young as a senior manager, and his mother works for the University of Minnesota. Bryan has a sister that works for Target Corporation as a senior merchandiser. Bryan began working in the emergency services field at the age of 16 as a lifeguard. From there, he acquired his EMSB in '99 and began working for the American Red Cross emergency services team in the Twin Cities. In 2009, he received an offer from the Hugo Fire Department for the position of an on-call firefighter EMT. He worked with Hugo until 2012 when he received an offer from the United States Steel Corporation for the position of emergency services captain. There he managed private security and industrial fire response teams on the Iron Range. Bryan moved back to the Twin Cities area where he has offered a job as Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota as a healthcare fraud investigator and is still employed there. Bryan graduated in 2010 with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of St. Thomas and will be graduating in September of this year with a master's in public administration. Bryan. Justin Head lives here in St. Louis Park in the Browndale neighborhood with his 5-year-old black lab Shelby. He grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, went to school in Cleveland where he obtained his bachelor's degree in biochemistry and has moved to Minnesota in 2004. Justin currently works as a senior business analyst for the Pharmacy Benefits Company in Bloomington, where he does project work supporting their member and client websites. Justin bought his first home in 2013 right here in St. Louis Park, and because of how much he loves the area and appreciates the community here, he decided to apply and work towards being a paid-on-call firefighter when the spot opened up on our team. In his free time, Justin enjoys working on his house, spending time with his friends, spoiling Shelby, reading, grilling, wine, watching Netflix shows, and documentaries probably more than he should, and is currently teaching himself web development. He is very excited and honored to be able to join the St. Louis Park Fire Department team. Justin. Alexander Krohnfeldt, who goes by the name Xander, currently lives in his birthplace of St. Louis Park and is the son of Jonathan and Julie Krohnfeldt. He is the eldest of 4 children, and his sisters are Evangeline and Elizabeth, and he has a brother, Augustine. Xander has always had a passion for helping others and seeing how emergency personnel could impact people's lives. It inspired him. Xander's experience with fire and EMS began at the age of 14 when he took a first responder course and attended a hands-on firefighter camp. Since that time, he has graduated from high school and continued to pursue his passion for helping others by graduating from the EMS program at Inver Hills Community College, completing basic and advanced emergency medical technician training. Xander continues to pursue his passion and training through his current enrollment in the paramedic program at Hennepin County Medical Center. When he isn't studying, Xander enjoys playing the piano, ukulele, grilling out on the patio, and spending time with friends and family. Xander. Edward Nunez is originally from Los Angeles, California. He has been married for 3 years to his wife Lita, and they have a 2-year-old son named Benjamin. Edward is a proud veteran of the United States Navy. He served on the USS Chancellorsville and the USS Ronald Reagan. He enjoys watching Dodger baseball, narrated by Vin Scully. I'm sure Twins thing will change that. And he likes coaching his nephew for his Little League games. The thing Edward enjoys the most is family and being the best father and husband he can possibly be. Edward has moved back to St. Louis Park to reunite with his family, his parents Francisco and Leticia, and sister Sonia and nephews Danny and Matthew. Edward said he has moved back to this great community to fulfill his lifelong dream of being a firefighter. Edward. Matthew Warren. Matthew lives in Bloomington and grew up in a small town of Wisconsin. And I'm told by one of our officers for our police department, it's Bloomer, Wisconsin, which is actually the jump rope capital of the world. He did not put that in his bio. But that's where he also got his start in the fire service. Matt currently works as a rescue technician for Rescue Resources and is a member of the Bloomington Fire Department. He has 7 years in the fire service, 6 years working in EMS. Matt moved back to Minnesota from Texas just a little over 2 years ago. In his spare time, he enjoys hunting, fishing, kayaking, and going to the cabin. He is excited to be a member of the St. Louis Park Fire Department. He's looking forward to the opportunity to give back to the community and advance his career in the fire service here in St. Louis Park. Matthew. Coty Watkins has lived in St. Louis Park for 2 years with his wife Kristen. Coty grew up in Bloomington and went to St. Olaf College where he earned his bachelor's degree in exercise science. After being a football captain in college, he was an assistant football and strength and conditioning coach for 2 years. He now works for Lifetime Fitness as a senior payroll specialist. In his spare time, Coty likes to practice his woodworking skills, travel, and play with his year-old puppy. He wants to work for the St. Louis Park Fire Department so he can contribute to keep the community safe. Coty. Nathan Witt is the son of Kathleen and Charles and the brother of Anna and Adam Witt. Nathan was born and raised in Minneapolis and is currently residing in Edina. Nathan is a member of the graduating class of 2008 from the University of Minnesota with a degree in sociology and Arabic. Presently, Nathan works as a salesman for Johnson Brothers Liquor Company. He has taken multiple courses in fire science and Hennepin Technical College and enjoyed learning about his ideal profession thoroughly. Nathan wants to work for the St. Louis Park Fire Department because he has always dreamed of making a real difference in the lives of others and to protect and help people in need. In his spare time, he enjoys reading, playing basketball, hiking, and spending time with people he cares about. It's Nathan. Last but not least, Adam Younger. Adam was raised in Olivia, Minnesota, along with his younger brother, where their dad was a city attorney and their mom was a public health nurse. He earned his Eagle Scout honors in high school and spent much of his childhood in sports, including summers water skiing at the family lake home in New London. After majoring in political science and philosophy at Concordia and Moorhead, he traveled across the U.S. and abroad for a better part of a decade as a professional water skier and stuntman. There's got to be some stories there. Adam met his wife Anna 6 years ago and settled in St. Louis Park where he runs a home remodeling and handyman business. They have a 17-month-old son, Charlie, and they are expecting a baby girl this August. When he's not spending time with his family and their dog Tucker, Adam enjoys helping others and being active outdoors with his friends. He loves biking, traveling, going to concerts, and sampling the latest from local microbreweries. Adam is looking forward to joining the St. Louis Park Fire family, becoming a trained firefighter, and serving his community. Adam. It doesn't take long when you listen to that list of accomplishments to understand we have a group of very high overachievers. And we're excited about that. If you want to get something done, you give it to somebody who's really busy and knows how to get things done. And this is a group that I think is going to be able to do that, and we're excited about the prospects. At this time, I'd like to have our city clerk, Melissa Kennedy, come forward and deliver the oath.
Thank you, Chief. Is everybody ready? Okay, if you could all raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties of paid on-call firefighter
the duties of paid on-call firefighter
for the city of St. Louis Park
for the city of St. Louis Park
in the county of Hennepin
in the county of Hennepin
and the state of Minnesota
and the state of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Okay. Tonight you're wearing your new uniform. You'll receive your probationary helmet, your nameplate, and your badge. All of these tie you to this organization and our mission. The mission, which is on the wall above you, says protect, educate, and serve with courtesy and integrity. That defines why we do the things that we do. We work diligently to foster the tenets of the Oz principle, of which you'll become very familiar with. The Oz principle, which simply states, what else can I do to rise above my circumstances and achieve the results that I desire? In other words, how can I be part of the solution? How can I bring ideas to the table and do so in a way that brings honor to my team and to myself in an above the line sort of way? That's what we live by. At this time, I would like each of you to be presented with your badge, helmet, and nameplate.
I'll try not to jab you too badly here. Not here. Jackpot.
Thank you, Adam.
All right.
As though that's what we had them sworn in, so they're still a workers' comp if they get stabbed. Lastly, this organization's membership has identified 5 cultural behaviors that we hold true to. Those are professionalism, esprit de corps, unify, communicate, and trust. We have memorialized our mission and these 5 characteristics by having them minted on a challenge coin. Another fire service tradition is the challenge coin, which designates you as a member of our team. At this time, we will present each of you with your own challenge coin and your copy of the Oz principle. As they return to their seats, let's give each of these candidates a big round of applause. This time we'll have Assistant Chief of Training and EMS, Rodger Coppa, come to the podium.
My name is Rodger. I'm the Assistant Chief of Training. So with Kris, I'm tasked with making sure these 10 get through the training they need to make sure they are safe, first and foremost, but also are trained well enough to be able to serve that. So thank you for giving up your family members, your friends for the next 2 months at least, and those that still need to go to more schooling, 6, 8, 12 months. It is quite a commitment. We will be starting next week. We're going to gobble them up every Wednesday for the next 2 months. They're going to be ours Wednesday evenings. After that, there might be a short reprieve, and then again, those that need to go to school might be going to classes 2 nights a week. So again, I want to thank you for your sacrifices, because it is quite a big commitment. The first year of schooling is a lot. And again, I congratulate the class of 2050.
But as I bring this kind of a close, I just want to remind the firefighters that more people than you know will know that you're a firefighter. The example that you set within your community is going to be appreciated and noticed at all levels. That's important to remember that. People that you don't even know would know you, no matter if you're wearing the colors or not, will know just because that's the way it is, that you're a firefighter. So remember that as you're in your community. Hopefully this marks the beginning of many memories and contributions. This job, more than any, is as good as what you make it. The opportunities you take advantage of, the friendships you develop, and the impact you have on the lives of so many people cannot help but make this the best job ever. Mark Twain said it best when he said, 25 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did. So welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. Family and friends, welcome to our family. And we look forward to spending a lot of quality time with all of you. So again, let's give a big round of applause to the candidates. This will conclude our ceremony for the pay-down call. At this time, if you want, we can exit here. We can adjourn down to the lobby area where the antique fire truck's at. There's cookies and water and coffee down there. And then for those of you who wish to, there'll be some guided tours of the fire station so you can see what's in the building and get a sense of where your loved one will be spending some time. So again, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you to our firefighters for being here and showing interest. And welcome aboard and welcome to the St. Louis Park Fire Department.